Systems approach in administration. 5 subtopics we will discuss related to this topic. First, basic systems concepts. Second, the administrative system, input, output, processes and workflow. Third, single and double loop feedback. Fourth, hierarchies of control. Fifth, types of systems: open, closed, adaptive, subsystems and control. What is the systems approach? The systems approach to management is a concept which views a company as an interconnected purposive system that consists of several business sections. The entire system can be broken into 3 parts, namely input, process, and output. Input involves raw materials, funds, technology. The process refers to activities related to management. Technology, operations. Outputs are the products, results, etc. The response or feedback in a system focuses on the information and data which is utilized for executing certain operations. These inputs aid in correcting the errors found in the processes. 4 basic systems concepts. First, emergent properties. This is one of the fundamental ideas of systems. It means that the system exhibits a set of properties when working collectively as a whole system, which is not present in any of the entities that make up the system. Second, hierarchy. It helps in the understanding of the abstractions of systems. Third, communication. This is an issue that affects all systems and indeed is the single most important reason for system failures. Fourth, control. This is the mechanism to regulate the system. It is the internal mechanism to create a stable system so that the output remains within the desired limits. This is one of the most important concepts in systems, as without control a system will behave in a chaotic manner. The administrative system, input, output, processes and workflow. It is a management approach that enables the leadership to see the company as a unified part or a major section of the larger outside the corporate environment. Even a small activity in a section of a company has a substantial effect on other sections of the company. The systems approach states that, for realizing the operations of an entity, it is essential to see the entity as a whole system. Single and double loop feedback. Single loop learning. This form of learning aims at solving the increasing changes and the problems that have arisen as a consequence of this. However, this ignores the real cause of the problem. Double loop learning. This form of learning will go more deeply into the cause of the problem, and feedback is used to look at past actions. What were the considerations of the managers and the employees to adopt certain procedures? What went well and what should be improved? Hierarchies of control. The idea behind this hierarchy is that the control methods at the top of the graphic are potentially more effective and protective than those at the bottom. Following this hierarchy normally leads to the implementation of inherently safer systems, where the risk of illness or injury has been substantially reduced. Controlling exposures to occupational hazards is the fundamental method of protecting workers. Traditionally, a hierarchy of controls has been used as a means of determining how to implement feasible and effective control solutions. Elimination and substitution. While most effective at reducing hazards, also tend to be the most difficult to implement in an existing process. If the process is still at the design or development stage, elimination and substitution of hazards may be inexpensive and simple to implement. For an existing process, Major changes in equipment and procedures may be required to eliminate or substitute for a hazard. Engineering controls. Engineering controls are favored over administrative and personal protective equipment (PPE) for controlling existing worker exposures in the workplace because they are designed to remove the hazard at the source before it comes in contact with the worker. Well-designed engineering controls can be highly effective in protecting workers and will typically be independent of worker interactions to provide this high level of protection. The initial cost of engineering controls can be higher than the cost of administrative controls or PPE, but over the longer term, operating costs are frequently lower and in some instances can provide cost savings in other areas of the process. Administrative controls and PPE. Administrative controls and PPE are frequently used with existing processes where hazards are not particularly well controlled. Administrative controls and PPE programs may be relatively inexpensive to establish, over the long term, can be very costly to sustain. Types of systems: first, open; second, closed; third, adaptive. Subsystems and control. Open system continually receives input from its environment, host system. It continually produces output to its environment, host system. Evolves as a result of these exchanges. New information stimulates adaptation, renewal and reinvention. The whole is more than the sum of the parts, which is often how high-performance teams are described. Closed system. Interactions occur only among the elements in the system. Boundaries are rigid, restricting inflow or outflow, exchange of information or matter. Organization decreases, stagnation. Entropy, disintegration, is the eventual result. An adaptive system, or a complex adaptive system. A system that changes its behavior in response to its environment. The adaptive change that occurs is often relevant to achieving a goal or objective. We tend to associate adaptive behavior with individual plants, animals, human beings, or social groups. Okay, that's all. Thanks for watching.